Okay, just bear with me, guys. I'm just getting my camera and my setup sorted. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay. Hello, welcome to my channel. So, gosh, so this is my very first live on my channel. You can probably tell I'm pretty nervous. I mean, there's no editing out the bloopers with this, guys. The pressure is on. As you can see, I am surrounded with all of my arts and crafts. Well, hopefully you can see. Arts, crafts, paintbrushes. So, just going to spend a little downtime, a little arts and crafts session, a little come and paint with me. We've got a beautiful new wooden sign to be painting today. So, bear with me a second. I'm just going to go and get some hot water, and then, yeah, I'm going to finish sort of getting everything set up. I'll let you watch me put my paints out, and then we'll just relax and have a little bit of a paint and ponder. I won't be a second. Here I am with our hot water. It's not quite boiling, but hey ho. So, do you know what? You can't actually see it, but just off the camera, I'm surrounded with like Christmas stuff. But can I find a pair of scissors? Do you know what? I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to actually try and find some scissors. I'm still here. Let's have a look, because then if I can't find some, but I've actually looked, at least I can say I've looked. So, bear with me. I hope this isn't too loud. Christmas bag rummaging. I like to try and be an organised person, so I'm currently looking in a bag where the scissors should be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's where they are. And it doesn't feel like they are. Oh my goodness, I've only gone and done it. Right. Okay. And I am on my way back once more. Ta-da! There we are. Ta-da! Right. Okay, so here we go. I'm back again. Hi. It is so nice to have everybody joining me today. So, before I really get stuck in and started with anything, I just want to apologise in advance if there is any excessive background noise, noise from my neighbours, birds and seagull noise, kids coming out of school and they're super excited because it's almost Christmas, anything along those lines. I am sorry in advance, but the neighbourhood where I live, it's a family estate. There's lots of families, there's lots of young kiddies, and it can't really be helped. Oh, caught my finger there a second. It can't really be helped during the day. I'm not sure where everybody is viewing from, but I live in England, and it is during the day, and it's about kicking out time for the schools, I think. So, yeah, let me just check over here. Just checking on my laptop that all of my settings and everything is going the way that it should. Before I carry on, I'd hate to find out super late that something doesn't look right, you know? Let's get this view fixed a little bit. Okay, how's that kind of sitting for everybody? Can everybody see? We're going to go ahead with that, and fingers crossed, everything crossed, fingers crossed, toes crossed, cross your eyes, cross your teeth, maybe not your teeth, that's disgusting, I'm sorry, I grossed myself out then. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, I like to kind of collect these little wooden signs. I tend to find my wooden signs in local craft stores here, and there's usually a different few out kind of every year, and a different one kind of every season, and this is this year's little wooden sign, and it's a beautiful holly and berry wreath, and I think they must laser cut it, because if I turned over here, it's very kind of intricately, very delicately, very cleanly actually cut out, so I am guessing that that it must be laser cut. I had a doctor's appointment today, guys, and I'm not very good with going to the doctors, if I'm honest. So, in an attempt to kind of bring my possibly high blood pressure down, and also just relax, kind of get some airtime, on here, say hello, make some friends. I just thought, hey, why not try and do a live? Because even if I don't get anyone in my room watching live as I broadcast, it's a good practice. It's a good trial, and my followers that subscribe to my channel can always watch at a later date if they fancy. So, who am I? My name is Laura. So you can call me Laura or you can call me Dreamy. Whatever you fancy, it is completely up to you. I live in England, hence the accent, though I love travelling, and I especially love America. Oh my goodness, that blue paint came out a little bit gloopy. What's wrong with that? Oh no. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so I love to travel, and I especially love America. I have a terrible memory, so I apologise in advance if I repeat myself a lot. I promise you it's totally unintentional and done in good faith. As you can see, I love all the colours of the rainbow. If someone asks me what my favourite colour is, I tend to reply with Roigabiv or Roigabiv, depending on how you like to pronounce it. But to me it's always been Roigabiv, which is the first letter of... oh no. Excuse me. It's the first letter of every colour of the rainbow, just in case you weren't aware. I am still very, very new to ASMR, so please be kind, please be patient. I have experienced ASMR myself since a very, very young age, and I've always kind of wanted to get involved in the ASMR community myself. And 2 years I took the plunge and created my own channel, and since then life has completely been turned upside down. I won't go into it, but if you're interested in hearing more about my background and the history of my channel and the reasons as to why there aren't hundreds of videos already on my channel and why I don't have fantastic professional recording equipment yet, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and go and check out a bunch of my videos on there, because I go into my story and my history quite a lot on my channel. You're all very, very welcome to have a look through and have a ponder and just lose yourself for a little while. So I tend to err more on the side of softly spoken and whispering. I don't do a whole sort of vast array of mouth sounds, you know. I don't do a whole heap of that, so maybe I will make a video or two in the future, if that's something that people want to hear more of. I tend just to go for a more natural style, honestly. But I hope that I can at least be interesting and entertaining and enjoyable and relaxing. So, let me come a little closer. Okay. So, just checking out my angle here. Let's see if I can get you a little better lined up. Oh, actually. Do you know what? I have OCD and I'm a fixer. I tend to sort of go a bit overboard with just trying to fix everything, but I don't think that's too bad. So what I like to start with when I'm painting these wooden crafts and sculptures is I tend to get like a good quality Sharpie, a fine point Sharpie, and I like to colour along the outside edge and ridges, because then when you're holding it face on and looking at it, if the very edges are blacked out, it tends to give it more dimension and make it feel thicker and more 3D than it actually is. Also, if you use Sharpie for that and not paint, it dries much quicker. So it's a bit of a cheat, but it's a little hack. So we'll just start out. How is everybody doing anyway? What day are we on today? It is Tuesday afternoon where I am currently. I hope you're all having a positive start to your week. As I said, I had a doctor's appointment, so it went fine. It was what it was, but I get myself so worked up before these things. I get so anxious, which I suppose, you know, and they're doing things as well, like checking your blood pressure. If you've already made yourself anxious before you go in there, I mean, you're fighting a losing battle, aren't you? Do you know what? It's quite hard for me to black out the edges of this wreath while I'm on the camera here, because I'm not taking into consideration the angle that you guys are viewing from. So I will maybe just go straight in with painting, and then I can always black out the edges at the very end. So, where shall we start? So if we have a look at the wreath details with regards to layers, there's around 3 layers here. So the base layer, and then a second layer of holly and berries, well, holly and then the berries, so a third layer. So if we start with the bottommost layer, we will be starting with, oh my goodness, I'm sorry I nudged you, that's so wolfy. Let's start with some brown for the twigs. So yeah, I hope everybody is having a good and positive week. I hope you're taking time for self-care, self-reflection. It's something that I really need to get better at, honestly. I forget myself quite a lot. I think we can all be guilty of doing that sometimes, though. Excuse me if I ramble. I'm used to talking to myself. does that. You have whole conversations with yourself in your head. I even disagree with myself. I talk myself into things and then I'm like, no, you're wrong. So we're starting out with, so I'm painting what would be like wicker twigs that would be kind of wrapped to make the actual wreath. And then coming off that is like sprigs of pine and hollies and berries. If I am at all doing this in a way that you yourself would not do it, I'm sorry if I cause any frustrations. This 100% is intended to try and be relaxing. Isn't it funny how differently, like how differently people differ though, you know, with what we find interesting and relaxing. Did I just hear the parcel man? So me and my partner have got like a running joke, especially at the moment because it's coming to Christmas. He says the postman is like my best friend because I order a lot online. Well, with where we live and with the job that we do as well, I don't get a whole lot of time to actually like go out shopping like on the high street and stuff like that. I wish that I could. I wish that I could shop and support local more often, and I try to when I can, but it's hard these days and you've got to watch every penny as well. But yeah, I order a lot online, and my partner says the postman must be my best friend, and then when we actually see the postman in person, he goes along with the joke and says, I'm keeping him in a job. Oh well, job's a job. So in my years of watching ASMR, I've come to notice a trend that people tend to find their niche, they tend to find their kind of style and subjects that they like making videos about. Like some of the ASMR artists that I watch, they particularly like making pamper and salon videos. Some like treat and gift bag packing videos. There's one guy that particularly likes cranial nerve exam videos. Some like food related videos. And while I am still classed as being very, very new, I've come to realise that one of my niches and styles definitely is crafting videos, like painting, hence why I'm doing a come and paint with me video. It's one of the things that kind of helps me shut off from the world and just have some downtime. I experience anxiety and panic attacks actually signed up to start cognitive behavioural therapy to see if that can kind of help. So that's something, it's not a type of therapy that I've tried before, but I'm open-minded at the very least. But arts and crafts and ASMR honestly really are my safe space, my safe place. How about you guys? Well, I mean anyone watching this must relate in a way, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't be you wouldn't be watching. So I really wish I could tell like how distracting the outside noises of my neighbourhood are on the live stream, on the recording. I hope it's not too obvious. You know, some people actually quite like a little bit of the sort of background neighbourhood noises. It's all personal preference, personal choice, I suppose. Just like painting things like this, I like to start with the bottom layer and then work my way up to the top layer, but some people would be like painting the holly and berries first and then working their way down. What do you think? Am I doing it the right way? Would you switch it up and do it a different way? I feel like I'm just spreading melted chocolate around right now. Looks quite chocolatey. I was actually born in a place called Birmingham. Well, I mean, that's how I pronounce it, Birmingham. The city of Birmingham, where Cadbury's chocolate is from. So the city of Birmingham, and Cadbury is in a town called Bourneville, which is Quakersville. And good couple of years ago, probably around 10 years ago, maybe even more, Cadbury was bought out by Kraft Foods that make like Kraft cheese and Kraft macaroni and cheese. So the factory is still here in England, in Birmingham, but it's an American owned company now. So who is excited for Christmas? I am affectionately known by my nearest and dearest as Miss Christmas. Yeah, I love the holidays, not just Christmas, but kind of any excuse to celebrate and decorate and be with family and friends. I'm all for that. But even more so if I can decorate the house and if like costumes and festive outfits are involved. Sign me up. I love it. My love language is gift giving. Well, one of my love languages is gift giving. So I get quite competitive trying to surprise people and get the best gift that's going to make someone happy and emotional. That makes me happy when I can treat someone that I love like it's wonderful receiving gifts, don't get me wrong. If someone wants to treat me and, you know, like surprising me, and that's wonderful. It's not actually something I'm very used to, but all my life I've really loved just listening to people and what they say that they're interested in, and you know what they say that they would like one day, or hint at, like, oh, I've always wanted one of those, or I'd love one of those. And then I'm the sneaky little elf. I'll go and make a note, like on my phone or something. This is what they said earlier in the year. And then I kind of hope that people forget what they've said. And likewise, I kind of hope that they don't just go and buy it themselves, because there are people in my family that are like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself. Again, self-love and everything, it's important. But it makes Miss Christmas's job a little harder. When I've been listening carefully and intently all year round, and you know, you've let me know things that you would really, really like, but you beat me to it. Guys, I have forgotten to bring some tissue paper in, so just excuse me for a moment, and I will be right back with some tissue paper. And I clean my brush off with a particular colour. I like to dry my brush just to make sure that there's no residual colour before I move on. I will be right back. Here I come again with my tissue noodle. Okay. And I am back. Yeah, so just in between cleaning off my brush, I like to then just dab the brush onto the tissue, because it tells you if you've still got any residual colour left in your bristles, because you don't want that colour transferring onto the next thing that you're painting. Okay. So now we're going to do some of these pine needles, I think. So we're going to start with a dark green. Okay, so go ahead then, guys, tell Miss Christmas what it is that you are hoping to be surprised with this Christmas. Don't be bashful as well. Don't be like, well, you don't have to be like, oh no, I don't need anything. My mum always tells me, like when I ask my mum, what would you like for Christmas? She's like, oh, I don't need anything, love. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't mean that I'm not buying you something nice for Christmas. So you can either give me an idea of something that you would actually like, or I am going to my little sneaky elf Miss Christmas list that I've been writing throughout the year, and I will take matters into my own little sneaky elfie hands. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people are a little bashful and worried about being too forthcoming with, you know, kind of saying what they would like as a present. And I get that, but Christmas is a time for giving and for being thoughtful towards your family and friends and wanting to spread love and cheer. And it's not necessarily about presents and about how much money you can spend on someone. It's not about that at all, but it is very much about family and friends coming together, wanting to love and support one another. Oh my goodness, I almost dropped that brush. You know, and just making a fuss of each other and just showing people that you really truly care about them. Myself and my partner, we just lost our little dog Poppy, and if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and go and check out my 2 videos that I made with Poppy on my channel, because she was the one. She was absolutely incredible, and honestly, anyone that watched her videos, anyone that met her out in real life, just instantly fell in love with that girl, and it is easy to see why. But with losing her not even 2 weeks ago, and losing her brother Blue 52 days before her, this is a little bit of a bittersweet time for us, to be honest, and that's coming from this Christmas. Last year, Poppy was super poorly. Like, it was February last year, and you know, we were all convinced that Poppy wasn't going to make it. Even her vet, you know, the fact that she made Christmas last year alone was a miracle, let alone getting through the new year, let alone getting to her birthday this year. She was genuinely a little furry walking miracle. And I don't have any regrets. I honestly don't. I mean, my partner and I, we live and breathe dogs. We work with dogs. They're our whole life, our business. But our dogs, you know, they really were our world, and they had pretty special lives, and they didn't want for anything. They got absolutely spoilt, rotten, ruined. But we don't half miss them. We really do. The house is quiet without them. And even more so now we don't have them here to kind of spoil and fuss over. I need to be able to spoil and fuss over my family. So they've all been pre-warned. Miss Christmas is out in force this Christmas. I am ready for Christmas. I've got lots of videos in the pipeline, so wrapping videos, I want to do some present haul videos where I kind of do like a show and tell, this is what I got this person, etc, etc. But I'm very aware that my oldest niece has access to my YouTube channel, and I don't know if she watches, honestly. I just know that she's been given the link and she has access to it, so I always have to be very mindful of that and mindful of just being careful of the content that I put on here, because she could see it and I don't want anything being ruined. I like to do Halloween treat bags, like trick-or-treat bags for my nieces and my nephew and my partner, and I usually do a video every year where I kind of look through what's in the treat bags as I'm packing them. And likewise, I did that this year, but the kiddies all had like a secret personalised present that I was putting in their treat bag. So I had to save that content solely for my Patreon page, because she may very well have the link to my YouTube, but I highly doubt that she would pay for Patreon content. So I feel slightly more kind of safer having the Patreon, so that I can put more sort of personalised haul content on the Patreon without kind of risking anything being let out the bag, so to speak. So I probably will do Christmas present haul videos and show and tell videos of gifts over on Patreon, so that I can show off in detail the surprises that I've got everyone in my family, and then, you know, without risking putting anything on YouTube like that. But then my general wrapping videos I can pop on YouTube, as long as I don't kind of show anything. Likewise, my partner has the link to my YouTube account as well, and I like to go a little all out spoiling my partner, and I can't do a show and tell on YouTube with his presents because he'd be right on that. Like, he jokes around every Christmas playing Pink Panther and Mission Impossible music, like pretending like he's going to go and try and find his presents. He doesn't, he's good. He leaves them alone because he knows exactly where I hide them as well, so it wouldn't be hard to find. But it's just him being playful. You'll have to excuse me if I cough or if I sneeze at all. It doesn't happen often, but now and then. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You'd be very, very welcome in the community. I'm still very new. I'm still trying to build up my subscriber count, and I have mentioned in a few of the videos on my channel, I haven't got much professional equipment at the moment. Currently for this live, I'm using my smartphone, but quite often I will record using my GoPro, and the GoPros don't have a very good microphone attached to them at all, so just I need to get a little bit of time and money together so that I can get hopefully a Blue Yeti microphone, start putting together a bit of a better setup so that the quality of my videos will get better for you guys. But I sincerely appreciate everybody's patience with that. I think for now my phone works pretty well for live broadcasts. I just can't use my phone to make actual recordings that I upload. I don't have any storage on my phone, so it's pretty hard. The GoPro is not too bad, it's just it's not ideal because the microphone quality is shocking. Going back to what I was saying about I love to travel and I love going to different places around the world, and particularly America. Hopefully that's not too scratchy and loud. Yeah, I'd like to know where my subscribers are actually from, so if any of my subscribers are watching, or even if you're a new viewer, a new watcher, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. If you're also in England, or if you're in America, whereabouts in America are you from? We do get stats from YouTube telling you kind of where the majority of your audience are viewing from, so I have an idea. And the majority of my audience do not have the same accent as me. So what do you guys think of my accent? If you could guess a particular place where I'm from, where would you say I'm from my accent? Hey, that's an interesting activity. Guess where I'm from. So our wreath is slowly starting to come together. I keep going back over myself because as I rotate the wreath, I see like little white bits that I've missed because they're at a different angle of, where I'm at right now. I might not see something until I rotate a piece of wood. And also I have OCD, seriously, so if something isn't right, that's what takes me so long most of the time. It's not the actual, I'm going to sit here and colour in the wreath, it's the going back on myself because I notice little bits that I'm not happy with from the first time around. I also have, I don't even know where I got this from, but I have a little shaker maker with fairy dust in it. It's like iridescent white silvery glitter with like shifts of green and gold, a little bit of pink shift in there as well. It's very pretty. I think I'm going to put that on the berries on the top of the holly here, probably on the berries, and probably last, like after everything else is dried on the wreath, then maybe put like a little bit of glue on the berries and coat them in glitter, so then they'll look like frosted berries. or they'll look mouldy, one of the two. You just never know. So, what's your name? Where do you come from? Tell me what one of your hobbies is. Do you know one question I like to ask people? I feel it's not a run of the mill question. It's very me. Is what's like one of your favourite smells? And now I've heard that come out of my mouth. It's a very strange random question, but you know, like freshly cut grass or baking bread, or like, is there a favourite aftershave or perfume? Actually, when I was growing up, my dad is this big important businessman, you know, worked in an office and did a lot of travelling for his work. And I remember every morning waking up to the smell of my dad's aftershave, and even now he still has quite an impressive collection of expensive aftershaves. And I've not lived at home for a long time, and I kind of miss waking up and smelling my dad's aftershave. And I wake up smelling my partner's aftershave, so that's very comforting and it's nice. I like the scents that my partner wears. They're just different to the scents that my dad would wear. I mean, thankfully, because it'd be a bit strange if my partner smelled exactly like my dad. But yeah, it's just like a core memory that I remember growing up, waking up smelling my dad's aftershave. Usually coffee as well. My parents like drinking coffee, and they drink quite strong coffees, so if the kettle was put on and someone made a cup of coffee, it's not very strong. It's actually beautiful colour green. It looks a little streaky when you only put one layer of it on, so I probably will have to re-go over the green after the first layer is dried down. But the particular green that it is, let's see what it says on the bottle. It says it's Viridian green, but this reminds me of Isle of Man green that I think it's BMW came out with. It's a very similar green. It's very rich and it's very expensive looking green. As it goes, green isn't actually one of my favourite colours. I like all of the colours like when they're together in a rainbow, but individually, if I had to choose just like one or two colours solely on their own, green isn't it for me. The irony is green is my partner's favourite colour, so ouch. But they say opposites attract. So I've heard over the next couple of days that the bad weather is supposed to be coming in. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of a runny nose. Yeah, so the bad weather is supposed to be coming in. It's supposed to be getting really very wintry over the next couple of days. The news articles that they come out with, though, they always like over dramatise, don't they? They're like, the Arctic blast is coming in from the ocean. But that is apparently the report, and there's a possibility that in the coming week or two, where I live, we may even get snow. I think my partner said as well, there's a possibility that it could be the first white Christmas in a really long time. And I'm not going to lie, Miss Christmas loves the sound of that. What do you guys think? Do you like the snow? Do you know what? I love the snow, but I'm terrified of ice. Last year we got quite a lot of ice around, well, you know, all throughout the winter, but in particular there was a couple of weeks of ice. I had some appointments that I had to get to, and they were quite important. I was trying my very best not to put them off, and I ended up slipping on the ice, and I fell right on my back end, and I bruised my tailbone, and honestly, I thought I had broken something. I thought I had broken my bottom. I went to A&E, like, I mean, I left it a little while, I didn't go to A&E straight away. Like, we went round to a friend's house and we were having drinks, and we were actually all laughing and joking about it because I was struggling to be able to sit down properly, not gonna lie, I was in so much pain. And I was like, how long do I leave it before going up to the hospital and saying, you're gonna have to take an x-ray of my bum, because it was just so painful. Luckily, because I did end up having to go up to the hospital, I had scans done. This is wonderful, isn't it? If anyone's going to be dipping in and out of my room and joining now, they're coming in and I'm talking about my bum. But nothing was broken, thankfully. You'll be so happy to know. I know you will. I know you'll be happy. Nothing was broken, but the doctor that I saw, she validated how much pain I was in. She was like, it's a very tender area, it's very tender, and it could be weeks, it could be months before it feels like properly back to normal and healed. And you just have to, what did she say? She said you have to try your very best to actually like use the area and sit on it and move around and, you know, get up and sit down again and stretch and try and use it like normal, as painful as it is, because if you let it seize up like the base of your back, you'd be in an even worse predicament. So I was in agony and just having to sort of try and use my back and my legs as usual, and struggling to even be able to sit down properly. But slowly in time it did actually get better. But now I'm terrified of the ice. I'm quite clumsy, I'm not very steady on my feet, and I can't ice skate. I don't know how. Well, my sister's fantastic at ice skating, she's very talented. But I don't know, I've got a therapist who strongly suspects that I am very high functioning autistic, and I struggle with a lot of things, and like hand-feet coordination is definitely one of them. But I don't beat myself up over it. We are all beautiful in God's eyes. I'm perfect in my own ways. Just have to kind of keep telling myself that because I forget it a lot. So, I've painted a few of these signs previously on videos in the past. What was my first one that I did? Might have been a Merry Christmas sign. Or something to do with Halloween. Do you know what? I should have come back prepared. I should have checked this before I started my live. But you know what? It's a good excuse for you to subscribe, actually. Then go and watch my videos, because then you can remind me in comments. But I have painted a few of these signs previously, and I have got another one somewhere, like a wintry one that says let it snow, I think. It's something about snow, and it's wintry. And these videos, they always seem kind of popular. People enjoy me just kind of rambling away while I'm painting. It's the kind of thing that I would enjoy watching, as long as while you're watching someone colouring something, they don't accidentally miss like a chunk and you're like, oh my god, you have to go back and you've missed that bit. Do you know what I mean? That would be so stressful. So I apologise if I do miss anything that's really obvious to you and you're not in the live, you're watching this back and you're just screaming at your screen like, oh my god, why did you do that? So, yeah, how do you think it's coming together so far? Do you like the green? I think I like the green. Let's try a few mouth sounds. The tapping's fine until I accidentally scratch my nail on this stuff and it makes this god awful scratchy kind of. It's not nice. It's like nails on a chalkboard. What about this? That's very nice. We'll revisit that. Crinkly sounds like plastics and papers, that sort of thing. That's definitely one of my personal triggers. Thin and thick plastics, actually. I really like, excuse me, I really like thicker plastics, like plastic folders and binders and raincoat materials, and you can get them thick storage bags that you can store things in, like blankets. That kind of thick plastic material that gives you the nice cracks and gentle kind of, you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. You know the rules. Well, but also really thinner plastic, so you get the almost rain kind of sounds, very delicate, like crinkles and rustles. I could listen to that all day. It's very, very relaxing. So I have a very busy time coming up in work. The winter is definitely our busy period. We are a little quieter and not as manic in the warmer months. Again, we work with dogs, so in the warmer months, people don't necessarily need our services quite as much. Look at all of that green. And you would have expected it to be washed off. There we go. Let's have a look at how we're doing right now. Beautiful. Oh yes. So as I said, the green that I've applied to the pine, that goes out kind of patchy and streaky at first, especially if you use water to kind of thin it down. But we will go over that and do a second coat. So if we start with some holly, just while the pine needles all dry down, because there's no point in me trying to put a second coat onto the pine needles until they're properly dry. I'll just be moving wet paint around. So yeah, as I said, I have quite a busy period coming up in work, but I do definitely want to commit to uploading as much festive and holiday content as I can. It is one of my favourite times of year, and there's plenty that I want to get recording, but I apologise in advance about any kind of dodgy audio recording quality. For the time being, just assume that my audio quality is probably going to be relatively low resolution, like lo-fi, old school, not that great quality. Hopefully, as I said, I can continue using my smartphone for live broadcasts, but this is my very first live broadcast, so it's not like I've got a lot of experience. It's like a whole chunk of brown here. For some reason I've missed that, and I don't know why I would do that. Just doing it to frustrate myself, obviously. It would be so nice right now to just have like classic old school Christmas music on in the background, or even on in the next room, so you can just kind of hear it gently seeping through the walls while you're doing a special Christmas craft like this. There are actually videos on YouTube dedicated to that, like listening to old school Christmas music from the next room, and it's a very sort of nostalgic, old school kind of vibe, something most people would be used to experiencing as a child, when growing up and you've been told to go to bed or whatever, and the grown-ups are in the next room. You can hear like family and friends conversations and stuff like that. I grew up with a really big family, and the majority of us, we were all very close to one another, and we would spend a lot of time around each other's houses visiting family. Excuse me. And yeah, like when us kids were sent to bed, the grown-ups, they would all still be downstairs for some time, you know, just socialising and conversing. And us kids would be like trying to sneak watching TV or play video games or play with Barbie dolls or whatever toys, and we would be trying to do it in a quiet way so the grown-ups thought that we'd gone to bed when we hadn't. But it was always nice and kind of comforting to hear, you know, the TV downstairs or music from the next room or the grown-ups conversing in the next room. So those YouTube videos where it's like old school Christmas music in the next room, or you know, I don't know, nostalgic TV shows on the TV downstairs. You can find those if you search on YouTube, and it genuinely is like a really warm, nostalgic kind of vibe. I think so anyway. Obviously everyone has grown up in a different type of household and different kind of environment. I know my partner had a very different environment growing up compared to me. We genuinely grew up in different worlds. Like I say that all the time. So much green. Sometimes it can be hard to kind of picture, you know, the overall, the outcome that we're going for here. Like I know the style and the outcome that I want to achieve, but it's like decorating a room, for instance. My partner asked me recently, like, you know, if you're looking at a room, can you picture in your head how you want that room to look, like how you want to decorate it? And I said, yeah, you know, I'll have an overall idea of complementary colours and where I want to go and the kind of style that I want to achieve. And then he said, I really struggle with that. Like he would need a visual representation. Sometimes you can get AI to put examples together these days, so you can kind of see this is an example of how it would look in this style. And I suppose that helps people that kind of struggle to visualize it themselves. And when I'm painting little wooden crafts like this, likewise it can be tricky to visualize how it's going to look when it's all finished. And sometimes you have to trust the process, because sometimes it can look a little rough and it can look bad before it starts coming together and looking good. Does that make sense? Yeah, but I try not to rush it. I try to just trust the process, trust what it is that I'm trying achieve. Oh, that's very nice. It's very gentle crinkles. This is just like a black trash bag that I've cut open on all sides so that I could use it as kind of like a dust sheet, I suppose. I just pop it down on my surface so I don't get paint absolutely everywhere. I told you earlier I can be quite clumsy, so it can't be trusted. Don't forget to bless me with a like. If you could click the thumbs up button, that would mean a lot to me. Do you know what? I'm doing okay so far. I've got the odd little, mainly brown, but I've got the odd little smudge on me here. I hope you can see. Yeah, not doing too badly so far though. So, where are you from? Let's get back to our conversations. Where are you from? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you like to do in your spare time? And do you love Christmas as much as I do? It's okay if the answer's no, because we can't all be the same, can we? But if you do love the Christmas season, or whatever it is that you yourself like to celebrate, what is your favourite parts of it? You know, what do you look forward to the most? Is it actually the presents? Is it the smell in the air, the change in the season? Is it because you get to see lots of your family when ordinarily you wouldn't? Do you have family traditions? Me and my mum, we like festive bacon. We do bacon together, so she likes to make things like chili jam and these particular family chocolates. And I make far too much every single year. I'm so overly ambitious and I want to bake absolutely everything, and it's probably going to end up exactly the same this year, but I like to do brownies and blondies and cookies and little chocolate bonbon puddinis. What else? I like to make Rocky Road and peanut brittle, shortbread, mini homemade peanut butter cups. Just as much as I can muster the energy to create, I just like creating. I always said I enjoy baking and creating things in the kitchen because it's like a science lesson in school, and you have like all of your chemicals and all of your ingredients for your experiments, and then you mix all of these chemicals and ingredients together, and then there's this magical chemical reaction, and then you end up with a totally different product than you started with, and it just pickles my mind. It really, the mind boggles. It really does. I'm a simple girl. I'm a very simple girl, and simple things please a simple mind. We have run out of hollyberry green. I've noticed that I've got a creaky chair. I don't know how obvious that is to you guys, but I apologise in advance. It is actually a very subtle, quiet noise, but I am aware of it. So you might be wondering why I decided to come on a live to paint my little wooden wreath. The reason being is because I can use my smartphone to broadcast a live. I can't use a smartphone right now to be able to record and upload videos. My smartphone at the moment is the best choice for actually being able to produce semi-decent quality audio. And I wanted to give doing a live a go anyway. I wanted to for a while, and just kind of never really got around to it until now. Life is insane. Life is so hectic. But another reason that I decided to grab this and paint on a live is because if I set up to do like a wooden craft painting video, and I set up and record, I have to edit it down and cut lots out, because as you might have guessed by now, I like to ramble. And the rambling can be a lot. And when I'm having to edit down a video that's quite possibly a couple of hours of rambling, firstly, that's a lot of work, and secondly, you have to cut out a lot of the process. You'll go from maybe one holly leaf being painted to snap, all of a sudden 20 holly leaves have painted, and the viewers haven't got to experience and watch very much of that process, because I'm trying to keep the time of the video down. I love making longer form videos, so the majority of my videos that I upload, they're around an hour long, honestly, give or take. Some are a little shorter, some are a little longer than an hour, but roughly speaking, around an hour long is kind of my sweet spot, because that tends to be what I go and sort of seek out myself when I want to switch off and relax and wind down with a good ASMR video. I'll go and find something that's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long, because then that's me sorted. That's my entertainment for the evening. I can switch off totally and just dedicate my attention to that. I can even use that to help me fall asleep too, because it's not 20 or 30 minutes long and it's going to wake me up when it finishes, because the YouTube ads kick in, do you know what I mean? So I tend to upload videos that are around an hour long. But if we look, yeah, so I started streaming 84 minutes ago. So we're almost at an hour and a half already. It has flown by, guys. So I just figured I've had a little bit of a not so great day. It would cheer me up to be able to do a little arts and crafts. I can switch off, I can just zone out and paint my wreath. And if I did that on a live, I don't have the hassle of having to edit that down. People can dip in and out of the room if they want to join or if they want to leave. And then there's always the option, if people want to watch at a later date, then they can. Win-win. It's a win in everybody's books, hopefully. I think I have a tendency to often kind of over-explain myself. I told my doctor today in my appointment I was privately diagnosed with ADHD and high functioning autism at the beginning of this year. And and you can tell, you know, when there's signs. You know, when people say things like, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there'd be signs, you know, like I'd have 100 dogs and 3 houses because the dogs would come first. Yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's signs. It's always kind of been obvious that I'm a special girl, and not that there is one thing wrong with that at all. It's just kind of refreshing to know, now I'm in my 30s, to know that I have been living with conditions my whole life that people were none the wiser about, and there is a lot to my personality that these conditions were contributing to. Excuse me while I just try and cough as quietly as I can. I'm so sorry. Let's just have some crinkles. There we go. That made everything better, didn't it? Yeah, I don't know, I've had multiple conversations with my mum about it now, and she said, like, she feels terrible about it since I've been diagnosed, that it wasn't something that they picked up on sooner, so that I might have had more help as I was growing up. And I said to my mum, you know, I never want you to see these conditions as a negative, because I'm fine and I am living my life, and got some fluff in my mush. I don't blame her for anything. I don't hold anything against her. You know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes these things are subtle and they go missed. You know, back when I was a child, things like this, it was lesser known and, you know, kind of not really talked about as much as it is these days. And the awareness and the research and the assistance that you can get these days is mind-blowing, and it's fantastic, for especially for kids that are being diagnosed these days, because they have so much more help and opportunities available to them. So that's one thing that I'm so thankful for. What do we think, guys? My OCD alarms are going off because, as I said before, as I'm rotating it, I'm seeing everything from different angles. There's a little bit right here that I've missed with the brown, but it's fine, I can go back. Let's get a little bit of that. I can go back and triple check everything and fill it in. I'm still, even these days, kind of hard on myself. I think I kind of expect perfection from me a lot of the time, and nobody is perfect. I get like what's the word that I'm thinking of here? Gosh, major brain fog. Competitive, maybe? Like I get ridiculously, stupidly competitive with myself. So, like, for instance, I've worked in establishments in the past, particular workplaces, and there might be like a competition, you know, like a bake-off competition, or a costume competition, or a decorate your desk competition, just something where you're kind of competing against somebody else. And in my head I'm like, right, this is it, this is our moment to shine. And just immediately I am stressing myself out, and it shouldn't be that way. I'm like, right, this is what you're made to do. You can do this, and if you don't do this, then I'm not going to be angry, I'm just going to be disappointed. So I don't understand myself sometimes. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny the stress that we put ourselves under. We all need to be kinder. We really do. Right, guys, what are we cooking for tea tonight? You tell me what you guys are cooking, because I have no clue. I haven't got the foggiest, and I need some inspiration. Honestly, it's going on 2 weeks since our last puppy, and for quite a while actually. I mean, in some ways, still even now, I've really been struggling with food, and to be able to eat properly. I've not had an appetite. So for the first day, when she got really poorly, and then we ended up losing her and having to say goodbye, I had eaten just a couple of Pringles that day, and then I couldn't stomach anything else. The next day I managed a piece of toast. The next day after that I managed a couple of pieces of a garlic bread calzone. And it's just kind of continued like that. I've, for almost 2 weeks now, only been managing one meal a day, and struggling to finish even a full meal. What day are we on now? Tuesday. On Sunday, my partner and I went for a carvery roast dinner with my parents. They were kind of missing us both, and wanted to check in, see us, and make sure that we were doing okay. And you know, they'd given us a little bit of time to be able to, you know, have some privacy and start grieving together, but they, at the same time, they sort of wanted to check in and just make sure we were okay, and they wanted to treat us to dinner. So they invited us out, and honestly, every mouthful has been difficult, because I'm just sort of forcing myself to try and get something down, and I do not have an appetite. Yesterday I did these kind of I'm a vegetarian, but I was calling it a beef bowl. My partner eats meat, he's a big meat eater, but I'm vegetarian, so I cooked corn. I think the corn that I was eating was soy based, so hopefully you're in a part of the world where you understand what corn is. So basically what the meal was a small sourdough loaf, and you cut the top of it off and then you hollow the bread out, so you've just kind of got an empty sourdough bread sort of boat. And then I cooked up the mince, so I cooked vegetarian for me, and I cooked minced steak for my partner, and then diced and caramelized some red onion and multiple colours of sweet peppers. And then you have your bread boat hollowed out, and then you fill it with your mince and onions, and then all the peppers on top, and then lots of seasoning and Parmesan cheese, and then you whack it in the oven until the Parmesan cheese is like nice and crispy. And we had that yesterday and it was delicious, but I could barely eat any of it because I'm just still struggling with portions. But please hit me with your recommendations. I'm vegetarian, so bear that in mind. I love pasta. Like, oh my god, pasta is one of my favourite things. I tend to eat more brown pastas and brown rice, and also brown bread or sourdough bread. I just like them. I feel like they digest and metabolize better. But I love a good recommendation, so hit me with your meal ideas. What is everyone going to be eating tonight? Because as I said, I have no idea. Hello everybody that's just come into the room. Hello. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I love all of the likes. We're here painting wooden Christmas wreaths today, so I hope you'll stay and enjoy with us and relax. We're just painting and pondering today, just talking about everything and anything food at the moment, apparently. So I can see on my computer it says where I live currently it is 8 degrees Celsius, but feels like 5. What even is that? Feels like 5? Like, if it feels like it's 5 degrees, surely that means it's 5 degrees. I don't understand that. That pickles my brain. You know, like the wind chill makes it feel colder. Well, surely that just means it's colder than you're reporting. It has started raining, you guys. My partner did say actually that the bad weather was supposed to be coming back in this evening for a couple of days. Well, apparently Thursday is supposed to be like a little bit of a break from it. It's supposed to be a bit more of a fair night on Thursday. I love the rain personally, and I do actually love the snow. Like, if it actually does get all snowy this winter, we have an open fire, like a proper open fireplace in our house, and we like to build fires, you know, with logs and coal, and it's one of the best things, like the cracking from the fire. And might actually do like a short form video of building up a fire and then letting people just watch the flames and listen to the crackling, because I find that to be one of the most relaxing vibes. Can't beat a fire. And then you're super cozy and toasty in no time. What do you guys think? Has anyone else got an open fireplace? Has anyone got like one of those multi-fuel log burners? You know, the enclosed burners with like the flue, the big chimney thing. My partner really wants to get one of those. He loves them, and I would love to hear people's thoughts and recommendations. Do you have one, and are they worth it? Are they easy to maintain and clean out as well? I don't know. I would leave that stuff to my partner. He likes all of the manly, burly kind of stuff, and I enjoy enjoying it, you know, when it's lit. But I'm so clumsy, I don't get involved in maintaining and cleaning it out and stuff like that. That's definitely a him job. Not that women, you know, can't be good at that sort of thing. Like, women can most definitely be super independent and, you know, good at the manual stuff like that. I just know my own limits, and I know I am not good. I have like a very real reputation for being clumsy, and I respect that. So I was just going around and trying to, oh my goodness, I just flicked green paint everywhere. I was literally just telling you how clumsy I am as well. I'm just, you know, trying to turn the wreath and see it from multiple angles and just fill in some of the little spots that, you know, might be a little sparse or that I may even have missed. I really want to hear what everybody is hoping for Christmas. Or likewise, I really want to hear if anyone has any Christmas traditions. Oh, that's right, I was telling you about my Christmas traditions. So, one Christmas tradition that I have is the Christmas bacon with my mum. Just make sure that the stream is going okay. Yes. So, Christmas bacon with my mum. So, you know, when we're in the Christmas season and work is wrapping up for the year, we tend to reserve a day or two, just me and her, where we go all out and the kitchen is off limits to everybody else, and we bake up a storm, and it's exhausting, quite honestly, but it's one of the most special things to me, and I look forward to it every single year. We're both getting a little older now, actually, and my mum's mobility isn't what it used to be, so she kind of has to sit down in the kitchen now while we're baking, and she needs a little more help than she used to, but that's okay, and I don't mind helping her at all, because I look forward to it every year. It's very special to me. I don't know, honestly, if she realises quite how special, because one year she said to me, oh, I'm not going to bake anything this year, I'm not going to bother, and I was heartbroken. But even just like one or two things, even if we don't like shut the kitchen down for 2 whole days, we only do one or two things, it's still one of the most special things to me. Another Christmas tradition that we have, me and my partner try to go and watch the Christmas lights being switched on locally every year. That was actually technically, that was our first date, going to watch the Christmas lights be switched on, because when we started seeing each other and started hanging out, I had a holiday booked and I was flying out on a solo trip to Boston. So from England to Boston, all on my own. And I actually invited him along with me. We'd been seeing each other kind of for a few weeks and things were going really well. And I was like, hey, crazy idea, but do you fancy coming along on a trip with me? I'm going to America. And I'd been to America lots growing up. I'd spent a lot of time out there. Never been to Boston though, and it was somewhere that I always wanted to visit. I love going to places with lots of natural history, and you know, Boston is where the history is at. So I had spent a long time planning this trip and I was very excited for it. And then along came my partner, and all of a sudden I didn't want to go because I didn't want to leave him. I was really scared that like maybe if I went, he might get bored sort of waiting for me to come back, or he might meet someone else that he's into more than me. So I was really scared, and I was just like enjoying his company and seeing kind of where things went. But anyway, the invite was extended, and he couldn't make it in the end. He tried, but the stars unfortunately did not align for us, and I was talking to him literally right up until I was boarding the plane to go to Boston. In fact, I was crying my eyes out on the phone like, I don't want to go, I'm going to miss you. And he was like, you're going to have a fantastic time, you're going to go and see your friends and you can tell me all about it. So I was like, right, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to be an independent woman and I'm going to go and have a fantastic time. And I did. I went and it was a fantastic time, but I missed him very much. And when I came home, we actually admitted to each other that we were in love. And one of the first things that we kind of did together as a couple, excuse me, was we went to the local light switch on, the local town where we live, and we have some of the cutest pictures that we took together, and it's something very special to me. It's something that I never forgot and will never forget. And we kind of try to do it every year. The light switch on where we live, it can get a little crazy, honestly, because the town where we live and the location that they do the light switch ons, it's there's not a lot of space, so it gets very crowded and, like, you know, within such a small location. So we kind of sneakily found somewhere to view the light switch on, where we're not quite within the thick of it. Excuse me. And yeah, we bought noodles last time. There's like a noodle bar, and they do takeaway food, and we bought noodles and blankets, and we watched the light switch on, and we were sat there under the blankets when the tree lights, like, popped on and started twinkling, and it was all magical. And it's honestly one of the most amazing things that we still these days tend to try to keep going and doing together. And I look forward to it every year, honestly. I'm very overly sentimental. It might seem like a small, trivial thing to other people, but life is very short and fleeting, and special moments like that don't last forever. And so, you know, if it's something that you, I don't know, can make like a special memory with someone, and then make the effort each year, you know, just to try and relive and replicate that memory and keep making brand new memories. It's something that people take for granted and should try and do more often, because you never know when it'll be your last time. Gosh, I really thought that I had managed to get at least all of the brown patches. I think I'm getting there, she says, optimistically. So, I do honestly think that I'm getting there now, though. There's only so many times that I can rotate this wreath. Yeah, I'm going to call it on the brown. I don't know if you can hear that, but someone's outside struggling to start their car. And I don't know a lot about cars, but it sounds like they're about to flood their engine. Excuse me while I clear my throat. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I should have bought a drink of water with me. I have a little bit of a dry throat. Okay, so we're going back in with this beautiful rich emerald green here on the pine needles, because that has really started drying down now, so we can see the parts that we've accidentally missed or that the paint just hasn't kind of taken to. So yeah, it is almost 6:20 in the evening here, Tuesday evening, and I have no clue what to cook for tea. Hence why I was asking for recommendations, guys. But no one is speaking up. There's no recommendations being thrown my way. But that's okay. No problem. I will just have to get creative. Another Christmas holiday tradition that my family have had since I was very small is something called tree presents. Let me know if you do exactly this or a variation of this, but the idea of tree presents came from my great grandma. She always said what a shame it was that the build up to Christmas was massive, seemed to go on forever. Like, you know, the preparation and buying all of the presents and wrapping them and labeling them and making them look beautiful, and then buying in all of the food and prepping all of the food, and then everything is just over and done with in the blink of an eye, one day, and then it's gone. And she said, what a shame it couldn't just last just a little longer, all of that magic. So her idea was that one present for each person was kept back rather than be put out on Christmas Day with everything else that someone may or may not get. One present, each would be kept back and either put onto the tree if it was small enough, or just kept underneath the tree. And then on Boxing Day, so the day after Christmas Day, on Boxing Day, everyone had a tree present to open and look forward to. So there was still a little bit of Christmas magic. And also, on Christmas Day, we would have like the traditional Christmas roast dinner. There'd usually be, you know, one or two types of meat, or a meat and a poultry. And now obviously my vegetarian option. You know, and all the trimmings and whatnot. We've always been very fortunate. And then on Boxing Day, we would have a Boxing Day buffet, and everyone in the family kind of contributed. You know, I would make a bunch of desserts and usually bake some bread, and you know, like meats and cheeses would be left over from the Christmas Day dinner, and we would make some potatoes and, you know, some salads and, I don't know, gosh, just multiple picky finger foods. And then the buffet would get put out sort of around or just after midday, and it would pretty much sit out all day, and then you could just go back as and when, as many times as you wanted over the course of the day, and just help yourself anytime you felt picky and you know, you wanted a little something. And yeah, then in the evening on Boxing Day, after people had been helping themselves to the buffet all day, that's when we would tend to share out the tree presents. And it's something that we still do even to this day. We have our Christmas dinner on Christmas Day, and then our Boxing Day buffet on Boxing Day, and we save a tree present each for under the tree. And my sister, I have an older sister, and she has a family of her own now. She tends to come round on Boxing Day, so they have their own family Christmas, and me and my partner have ours, and we quite often see my parents as well on Christmas Day. And then on Boxing Day, we have the buffet and the tree presents, and it just keeps my great grandma alive. We lost her many moons ago, and she was honestly one of the most incredible women I've ever known. And that was just her little tradition. I'm feeling very nostalgic and very I don't know, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know, it's seasonal. I'm talking myself into, well, I suppose I am sitting here painting a Christmas wreath as well, but I'm definitely starting to feel more festive. The rain has started up again outside. Tell me, can you guys hear that on the feed? I can hear it, and it's very relaxing indeed. I quite often actually go to sleep with rain sounds. It's one thing that helps my mind shut off. I am a clinical insomniac. I'm actually medicated to be able to sleep, but it's nice when I don't have to take medication and I can listen to ASMR or rain sounds to help me sleep instead. And I know I said earlier that green is probably my least favourite colour, but as I'm layering up this green, like I've got a couple of layers on here now, it is a beautiful colour. It's such a rich colour. It's very easy on the eyes, it's very relaxing to work with. So my plan of action, I definitely do want to start doing more live streams, even if I just, I don't know, pop my camera or my phone in the corner of the room while I get on with wrapping 100 presents, and I don't necessarily converse and babble on, even if, it's something that I've been wanting to and meaning to do for a while. So if you'll have me, I definitely will be back and, attempting to do this again, if people enjoy my content anyway. People are in and out of the room, which is something that I expected, so please feel free to say hello, either on the live stream or if you're watching back at a later date. Please pop a comment and say hello. Tell me if this is something that you enjoy watching. Tell me about your traditions. Tell me what you're hoping for. What have you put on your Christmas list this year? Tell Miss Christmas. And you know what? I am in my 30s, but I want to go and see Father Christmas this year. Is that allowed? Is that creepy? I don't know. I feel like I might be one of the only adults in the line. But do you know what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I texted my mum the other day. I think I must have been having a little bit of a fragile day. And I texted her and I said, Mum, on Christmas Eve, could we get in the car with blankets and drive around and go and see everybody's Christmas lights and Christmas trees and count the trees? Because when I was a kid, if we were out anywhere in the car, on the run up to Christmas, me and my mum always used to count the trees, and she'd be like, "Oh, I'll count on the left hand side, and you count on the right hand side," and then we would see how many trees between us that we could count before we got home. And I love Christmas trees and the pretty lights, and it just gives you such a warm, nostalgic feeling. So I texted her and I was like, "Mum, on Christmas Eve, can we get in the car with blankets? Can we go for a drive around to see how many trees we can count and have a look at people's Christmas lights?" And she was like, "Yes, babe, we can get in the car. We can go and count the trees and see everybody's Christmas lights." And she said, "I will make a big pot of stew." She said, "I'll make 2 pots of stew, 1 beef, so that my partner and my dad can have the beef, and 1 vegetarian, so me and my mum can have the vegetarian." My mum, technically speaking, so she says that she doesn't call herself vegetarian because she will eat the odd thing, like she likes liver and onions and Richmond sausages and things like that. So she says she doesn't call herself vegetarian. She's not necessarily a vegetarian, but she doesn't really do red meat. So it's just easier when we're out at a restaurant or something to say, "Oh, I don't eat meat, vegetarian meal for me, I don't eat any of the meat." Just so that there's no cross contamination and they don't try and, not force something on her that she doesn't want, but, like insist on something that she's just not going to be comfortable eating. But, like for instance, she wouldn't eat a beef stew, but she'll eat the vegetarian stew with me. So she said, "Yes, babe, we'll get in the car, we'll take blankets, and we'll go and drive around and see people's Christmas lights. And I'll do 2 big pots of stew. So I'll do a beef one for the boys, and I'll do a vegetarian one for us. And then we can come home and we can have a big pot of stew, and then you can get a shower and you can get in your new pyjamas." Because my mum is the cutest. She still does us like a Christmas Eve box with like new pyjamas and hot chocolate stuff and little snacks like bags of popcorn and what else? Pringles and chocolate. So she's like, you can have your stew and then you can go for a shower and you can put your new pyjamas on, and then you can go with your snacks and go and watch a movie before going to bed. And I'm like, yes, just let me feel like I'm 10 years old again, and all of the stress of the world like isn't on my shoulders. And I'm not full of anxieties, and I don't have to medicate just to be able to sleep. And I haven't just lost both of my dogs in under 2 months, either side of each other. So yeah, just like, I think sometimes, you need to just have a break from it all, don't you? Just kind of take that pressure off yourself. Hello to everybody that's just come in the room. Hi, welcome. It's lovely to have you. Thank you for joining. Please feel free to say hello. Pop a thumbs up for me so that I know you're enjoying it. We have just hit 2 hours on the live stream, guys. Gosh. And we're going strong. So yeah, that is my plan for Christmas Eve, and I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like heaven on earth right now. And as I said earlier, I am coming up to a super busy time in my schedule, in my diary. The winter, and in particular the Thanksgiving and Christmas season for us, it's very, very busy. Which is great, don't get me wrong, it is good to keep busy, but it is also good to have downtime from being so busy as well. Oh my gosh, the rain. The rain sounds amazing. Can you hear it? I hope you can hear it. It's just like in the window. That's amazing. If you can't hear it, I will enjoy it for the two of us, for the both of us. For the two, for the both. I will enjoy it for all of us. Okay? Beautiful. As this green is drying down and absorbing into the wood, it's like completely changing colour. Completely changing hue. It's still gorgeous, it's still very rich, deep green, but like different notes and different hues are coming out. Let's get all of this off my brush here. So I'm just seeing, if I look over at my laptop here, I'm just seeing that currently it says no description has been added to this video. You know, there's no labeling, no write-up or anything. This is my very, very first live stream. So I'm still brand new to this. If I'm doing it wrong in any way, please bear with me. I will learn in time, hopefully quickly. But I didn't see, before I started the live stream, I didn't see anywhere that you could add like a name or a description to your live stream. I just kind of assumed that was something that you added afterwards, but I could very well be wrong. We will find out. But to anyone that is just joining us, if I just very gently lift this up, we are doing a little bit of festive paint and pondering. We are painting a wooden wreath today, and this has like a wooden vine, pine needles, holly, berries, and we're absolutely surrounded with paints and glitter and different craft materials. So this is what we are up to today. I hope you're finding it very relaxing. It did come with like a piece of twine that was attached at the top here and just kind of hanging off it. But the twine looked very tired. Oh, that rain is amazing. The twine looked very tired, and I decided to just remove it. I cut it off, and I'm going to replace it with this beautiful... I mean, what's the difference between plaid and tartan? I really don't know, but I'm going to replace it anyway with this beautiful plaid or tartan checkered festive ribbon. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's one of my favourite things. I say that every Christmas. I know I do. I'm going to pop that over there so that we don't lose it. But, excuse me. I like to introduce little pops of colour. So the majority of this is going to be very earthy browns and green tones. And then the little pops of red on the berries and on the ribbon. And then, as I said earlier, I do have Excuse me, I don't know why I've started burping and hiccuping and coughing, so I apologise. I have this sparkly fairy dust, and we are going to add this probably as a last final topper. I'm going to add this to the berries, the holly berries, so that they kind of look frosted. But that'll be the very last step. That will possibly even be off camera because everything else on the wreath will need to be dry before I can add any glitter, otherwise the glitter is just going to stick to everything. And I actually love glitter. I don't know about you, but my mum hates glitter. She gets really stressed out. She's a very clean and tidy woman, and I must say her houses over the years have always looked like show homes. So having a daughter like me, full of ADHD and autism, not understanding necessarily when I've made a mess, and then how to make that mess go away, she would get very stressed with me, and especially with glittery things, because glitter is notoriously hard to get rid of. It sticks to everything. So I used to do very non-funny things like fill cards with glitter, so when she opened them the glitter would go everywhere because I'm a cretin like that. I'm just a very sarcastic person. I have a very particular sense of humour, and the closer you get to me, the more of that sense of humour you're subjected to. So tell me, everybody, what are your plans for the holidays this year? Not necessarily just Christmas. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, or maybe it's called something else in your culture or your religion. I used to go to school with this girl. I remember her name. It was many years ago now. I was just contemplating whether to actually say her name. Let's keep her privacy. But I went to school with this girl, and she was from a different culture than myself, and this was when I was very young and very naive and ignorant to the fact that different cultures celebrate, different celebrations throughout the year. And innocently enough, when I was writing all of my Christmas cards out for my close friends, I wrote a Christmas card for this particular friend and took it into school with a present for her. And when I went to hand out all of my cards, and I went to hand a card to this particular friend, she just kind of she froze, and she just stared at me, and she was like, "Laura, I don't celebrate Christmas." And I wanted the ground to open up and eat me alive. I really did. I think I apologised maybe 100 times. I was like, "I am so sorry." She was like, "Please don't be sorry at all. It's actually really sweet of you." And she said, like, obviously she understood she was from a different culture, and they celebrate different holidays, and different holidays and different dates have a completely different meaning to me. But she said she always felt kind of a little left out, a little discluded. Is that a word? Is that the right word? Kind of not included when all of her other friends around her were handing out and receiving Christmas cards, and it's not something that she did or could do or could be included in. So she said secretly, between me and her, that it was actually really lovely, and that she knew that it was a really innocent mistake, and that I didn't mean anything disrespectful by it at all. And in fact, she was kind enough to educate me on her own culture and their really beautiful holidays that they celebrate, and how and when. So it was win-win, really. Like, I've never quite gotten over it, and I was horrified, absolutely horrified, and couldn't apologise enough. But she was so wonderful and so humble, and I've just never forgotten her. She was one of the nicest people that I've ever known. I've moved quite a lot since school. I'm in my 30s now. I'm an older lady now. I have moved around a lot, so I don't live where I used to live when I went to school with that particular girl. I don't live there anymore. I'm pretty sure we have each other on Facebook, but she's genuinely one of the nicest and most humble and most genuine people I've ever known, and I always think about her fondly if she comes up in conversation, or sometimes old friends just wander through your thoughts. She's definitely one of those that I feel richer to have known over the years. Thank you so much, everybody, for the likes. That's very, very kind of you. Just taking the time to do another layer of the holly green. The greens, they all tend to come up kind of semi-opaque when you put them on there. So there's a nice amount of colour, but there's still some kind of sheerness to it, if that makes sense. Very much enjoying our paint and ponder and the rainy sounds in the background. Very much. I think it's just what I needed today. My nervous system is feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I can't honestly wait to get started with like really getting stuck in with my Christmas wrapping as well. I don't know about any of you, if you've started or not. I've pretty much finished for buying presents for my friends and family. There's maybe the odd one or two things that I want to get just to finish up, but the reason that I haven't actually started wrapping yet is because I want to film it for you guys. But I've really been having a time of it, like getting decent audio recordings. The way that I've been kind of getting around it at the moment is recording a video and then separately recording like an overdubbed voiceover, which works because I can use my phone for better quality audio on the videos, but then the audio doesn't match up. So if I'm doing things like cutting paper or unrolling sellotape and things like that, or tapping on boxes, it'd be kind of harder to match things like that up. So I'm really coming up short with managing to do good audio recordings for you at the moment, but I'll think of something. I'll work a way around it. But that's the main reason why I haven't yet started my wrapping. That, and also because it's actually coming to my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday is at the end of November, and when I was growing up, while I still lived with my parents, the rule was no Christmas in the house until after Dad's birthday. So no decorating the house, no wrapping Christmas presents if you'd already started buying Christmas presents at that point, no Christmas music, just nothing, no decorations, no Christmas baking. But I don't live with my parents anymore. I haven't lived at home for quite some years, and I just love Christmas. I love getting in the festive spirit. So I start buying Christmas presents as early as I can, because then I can spread the cost. And again, I know it's not about the money and, you know, the presents and how much you can spend, but it is my love language to treat my friends and family. It really makes me feel good. So I start buying Christmas presents quite early as I can get away with, because then it spreads the cost. Sorry, I just found a piece of tape. You can't blame me. I have ADHD. I get distracted easily. Okay, I threw the tape away. Anyway, it spreads the cost if I start buying Christmas presents as early as I can. And I already have our Christmas wreath on the front door, just because I love it so much. And ordinarily, the house would be completely decorated by now as well. We're halfway through November. I feel like I'm really late actually with the decorations this year, but over the last 2 months we have gone through so much. I just haven't had it in me. I've not had it in me yet to get the tree down from the loft and decorate the house. I've somewhat been in self-preservation mode, honestly. But it is my dad's birthday before it's Christmas, and I haven't been able to wrap my dad's birthday presents because I've been waiting for something. What even is that? What have I got him for his birthday? Gosh, I have the most terrible memory. So you can do this, Laura. You can do this. Use your brain. I don't think my dad watches these. Oh yeah, I remember now. So a part of my dad's birthday present is I wanted to get him some wine, some cheese, and some chocolate. He's one of those dads, and he loves his cheese. You know, he always has like a cheese board at Christmas. But because his birthday is in like 2 weeks, I couldn't get his cheese like too early, because it would either go off and go out of date just sitting in the fridge, or my partner would eat it thinking that it was festive cheese, because he really, really loves cheese. I don't so much. I don't eat a lot of cheese at all, so the cheese would be safe with me in the fridge, but not with my partner. Yeah, he's a little bit of a cheese fiend. He's like a little beautiful furry little rodent. He's not like a beautiful furry little rodent. He's a monster. He's a big sloth man thing. He's very large, and I love him very much, but he loves his cheese and the cheese would not survive, I fear. So I couldn't buy the cheese too early. There's no point. So I will be buying my dad's birthday cheese next week. I'm actually going on a little girls' trip for a couple of days with my mum. What day we're on? Tuesday. So this coming weekend, I'm actually going on a little girls' trip just for a few nights with my mum for some girly time before Christmas. Pretty much to finish off our Christmas shopping and just sort of have a little bit of us time after having such a heartbreaking time recently, and just try and ease ourselves into the somewhat stressful and tiring festive season. And yeah, then when I come home from being away with her for a few days, then I will buy the cheese. But that is when I will start kind of wrapping and putting everything together, because until now it's all kind of gone on hold, because I do like to wrap and get my dad's birthday stuff done and out of the way before focusing on Christmas stuff. I like to differentiate between the two. I don't even really like to use Christmassy paper for my dad's birthday stuff, even though it is so close to Christmas. And likewise, my partner's birthday is also very close to Christmas, but I don't like to use too much of a Christmassy paper for him either. He pointed out one of his not so fond memories from growing up was that because his birthday was so close to Christmas, a lot of the time he used to get one present for the both occasions, and he would be told, like, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, here's your present. And as a kid, as you get older, your priorities and the things you care about, it all changes. What's important in your focus, it changes as you get older. But as a child, they're supposed to be two separate occasions and two separate things to celebrate, and it was all kind of lumbered into one occasion and overshadowed somewhat by Christmas. So he never really felt as though his birthday was a big deal when he was growing up, and he kind of grew up not hating Christmas, but maybe resenting it slightly because his birthday was so close to it. And again, it kind of felt often like it overshadowed his birthday. So, and I can completely understand, from a child's point of view, I would probably have felt exactly the same. So since we've been together, I try my very hardest to make sure that they're two very separate occasions and we celebrate them separately and individually. This year is no exception. I have something organised, and unfortunately I can't go into it anymore. Like, I can't drop any hints on here because my partner has access to my YouTube, so I don't want to ruin it for him. But he would definitely be sitting there listening to me ramble on, and he would have like the Pink Panther or the Mission Impossible theme music going, because he gets all like sneaky and like I'm gonna work out what the surprise is. But yeah, like my love language is gift giving, and I like making a fuss of my friends and my partner and my family, and I like making sure that birthdays that are close to Christmas aren't overshadowed by Christmas, and they're celebrated, individually, because the day of people's birth is a very important day to celebrate, I think. Some people don't see their birthdays as like a big deal, but I think that it should be a big deal. It's the day that you came into the world, and that should be celebrated. That's important. Hi to new people that have just come into the room. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. I love all of your likes and comments, so please feel very, very welcome. You're very welcome here. So what was I saying? Yeah, so that's the reason anyway why I haven't yet got around to wrapping anything for Christmas, because I was kind of focusing on making sure that I was set up and organised for my dad's birthday, which I am, except for the cheese. But like I said, if I'd have bought the cheese too soon, it would not have been safe. It would have been devoured by my partner. It would not have lasted long enough, and then I would have had to have bought more cheese. And the cost of cheese, my goodness, especially around Christmas, the cost goes through the roof, especially if you're buying like a special type of cheese. But the plan is go away this coming weekend for a couple of days with my mum, have a lovely time, come home, buy cheese, and then I can make sure my dad's birthday stuff is completely wrapped, and then I can solely focus on Christmas and just making sure that everything is beautifully, festively wrapped for Christmas, and I can get the house decorated, fingers crossed, hopefully is hoping. But yeah, I have a plan in theory. Like whether it goes to plan is another matter. It is now 7 o'clock, so my partner should be getting home from work soon, and I am still none the wiser what food to make us. So please, please help a girl out and drop your recommendations. I am so sorry, because that would have been so loud. I'm sorry. I can actually hear lots of my neighbours on my street all sort of returning home from work. I have had a personal day today, a mental health day. That's why I'm sat here doing Christmas painting, having a day where I'm looking out for my mental health and my well-being. I think I'm happy with that. On the bottom pine needles and bottom holly leaves all look sufficiently saturated. So what I'm planning on doing, I think, is mixing this lighter holly green with some yellow. Maybe I put a base of yellow down and then mix the yellow with the holly green and go over it to darken it. Oh my goodness, sorry if that's loud. I dropped my paintbrush. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start out light and then go darker. Do I have a finer brush? Yeah. Let's start with this. There's method to my madness, trust me, guys. So, just gonna get down in between these berries to start with. So, as I was saying earlier, one of our traditions every year is to go and try and watch the light switch on in our local town centre, and that's actually coming up. So, but who knows if we'll be able to make it this year. We will have to see. I'm just going to mute my microphone for a minute. My partner has just come home, so I just want to let him know that I'm recording. Bless him, he's being very quiet downstairs, so I think he's realised. He is good, bless him. He's very supportive of me wanting to get involved with YouTube and give it a try. We have just finished the latest series of Squid Games. 1 second. I keep trying to catch him, like, coming up the stairs or whatever, but he's trying to tiptoe around, bless him, and be super quiet for me. Yeah, so we've just gotten done watching the new series of, there's only 2 berries. Am I missing berries? That's gonna bug me. That's really gonna bug me. It's okay. It is okay. We can deal with it. Oh, okay. It doesn't matter. Let's just move on. What's I saying? Yeah, so we just got done watching the new series of Squid Games. Anyone in the comments? Does anyone else watch Squid Games? Because we are completely up to date now, and it was fantastic. It's a very haunting series. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. The next thing that we're waiting for is the latest series of Stranger Things, because we're big fans of Stranger Things as well. Okay, so that is the middle of all of those done. So my plan is to paint these top holly leaves in oh, that's a really nice effect actually. thank you so much for your patience. I managed to grab my partner. He'd come up to use the bathroom, so I called him, just muted for a little while. Well, I hope I managed to mute for a little while. He's a large man, he has a booming voice, and he is pleased to see me. But he told me to say hello to everybody. He's very happy that I'm enjoying doing my first live stream. So I did, however, forget what we were talking about before I muted. So I'm sorry. I have the attention span of I don't know what. Honestly, I really have a terrible memory. But was it the lights, or was I still talking about my dad's birthday? I wish I could remember. But back to the Christmas lights though. Watching the Christmas lights is like one of our little Christmas traditions every year, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that this year. He's planned to go winter camping with a friend of his, so it would have been nice actually because of losing the dogs, and to have sort of something to look forward to see the season in. But it's important to have your own downtime as well. We work hard, he really likes hiking and camping and things like that, so I'm sure there'll be plenty of other things over the Christmas season that we can look forward to. So my plan anyway, hopefully you're able to see this. Yeah, I still think our angle looks good. So my plan is to paint these top holly leaves with a layer of yellow, and then I'm going to mix the yellow in with the lightest green to get like a really diluted in between kind of colour, because I've seen holly leaves that are kind of half and half between yellow and green, and also the lighter colour on these top leaves just gives you a little bit more of that depth, because the furthest away, you know, in the layers of things that are stacked on this wreath, the furthest away things to you are these pine needles, and then the next closest thing are these holly leaves, and then the top holly leaves, and then the berries. So, you know, we just want to colour them accordingly, and obviously things that are on the top that are closest to you would be lighter in colour. I don't always have technical terms and technical wording for things, so I apologise. Hello, new people on the stream. Hello. Thank you for joining. You're very welcome, and I hope you enjoy our little painting panda today. We have been live streaming now for 2 hours, and today we are painting a natural wooden wreath. Well, it's like a little wooden craft. It's laser cut wood, and it's been cut and stuck into this beautiful pine needle and holly and berry wreath, and we are painting that this evening. Having a jolly old time. Hope you enjoy joining. It'd be wonderful if you could leave a little thumbs up like for me. That'd be very, very much appreciated. The rain seems to have stopped outside for now. That was beautiful to listen to earlier. It was very, very relaxing. Actually really enjoying the effect of the yellow mixed into this light green. I think it looks wonderful. Almost tie-dye. It's really nice. So the next couple of weeks for me are gonna go scarily fast, I think, because I have something sort of organised and planned excuse me, for every week right up until Christmas now. So this weekend I have a couple of days away with my mum. After I get home I need to shop for special cheeses for my dad's birthday, and then it will be his birthday. We have a Thanksgiving event at work that I have to organise and look forward to. And then all of the Christmas festivities. So I have obviously all of my wrapping to do at home and the videos that I want to make of wrapping and enjoying, Christmas festive fun. I have several Christmas events at work that I have to organise and then carry out. We have our staff Christmas party. And yeah, so the Christmas season, once it starts, it does tend to kind of whiz by, so I need to stop and do things like this occasionally just to sort of remind myself to take a breath, otherwise you miss everything. Life is fleeting, life is very, very short. But hopefully I do manage to get plenty of fun little festive recordings in for you, around work and everything else that'll be going on. That's definitely my aim. Hello everybody that's joining us for the live stream. Thank you very much for being here. I feel very lucky to be live streaming for you right now. My life is richer for having you in it. Honestly, thank you kindly for being here and joining me. I'm so intrigued to know where from around the world people are from. Please drop me a comment and let me know where you're viewing from, because I find that very interesting. As I said earlier, YouTube kind of gives you some analytical content, behind the scenes. When you're a content creator, it does give you stats, you know, to tell you what your most popular content is, your watch hours, but it also tells you kind of where around the world you're getting the most views from. So I am very, very interested to hear. Please let me know where in the world you're from, because YouTube seems to think that I get the majority of my views from America. And I do love America. America's very special to me, but if you are from somewhere else in the world, please let me know. Very interested to hear. I don't actually know how long this live is going to go on for. I do need to think about feeding my partner. Because of course, guys, we've been, let's see, we've been live streaming for nearly 3 hours, and it has been something, hasn't it? Hey, we've been on a journey today. Honestly, I feel very fortunate to be a part of this community, and I just hope that I'm able to contribute, you know, to people's relaxation and general state of positive mental health, positive emotional well-being. I really want to just be able to give back, like the ASM artists that I spend my alone time watching have helped to do for me. I'm very self-critical of myself. I feel like in my head I'm sitting here like, yeah, you know, that went well. But I feel like if I watch this back, I'll be like, ah, why? Why did I paint it like that? Or why was I rambling like that? But I just am how I am. I'm me, and I'm not perfect, but who is perfect? So again, I'm painting these particular holly leaves in yellow because I have actually seen a lot of holly leaves and bushes that kind of gradient, you know, between lights and darks, greens, and also have a little bit of the yellow in there, especially if, you know, they're new leaves. I know I've seen that. But also just because this is the top layer to the wreath, so the higher the layer on the wreath, I feel like the lighter the colour should be. Some wonderful gentle crinkles going on again there. I'm just going to attempt to very gently turn my phone stand. Oh my goodness, that wasn't as gentle as I expected. I hope that wasn't too loud for you, and I apologise if it was. I just don't want to end up kicking the phone stand. because that would just be a nightmare, and my phone would quite possibly end up within wet paint. So nobody wants that. Okay, just going to sit back here for a second and just have a look at the effect that I've created on these holly leaves and just see where I feel like it needs a little bit of work. It is looking good overall. There are a few little spots that do need touching up, but we're going to get there. Overall, I'm really happy with how it's coming together. Yeah, super happy with that. That's, excuse me. Gosh, I'm trying super hard to make sure that I'm not disturbing any of the paint that's still drying. I think it's this one. So what kind of day has everybody had today? Has today been the day, or has today not been the day? Because you know, not every day can be the day. And that's actually okay. That's something that I have to tell myself a lot, actually. Today, for me, was not the day. It was not the day. I felt very low energy. I hate going to the doctors. And yeah. But you know what? Tomorrow might be the day. Because why not? Wake up with that hope in your heart. When I've done this last lap of the wreath with the yellowy green, I will pick up the wreath and give you a closer look, just so you can better see the progress and kind of get a better feel for what it is that I'm trying to do. But hopefully you can see well though. Oh, my lungs just made some crazy mini squeaking kind of wheezing sound. I don't know if that picked up on the microphone. I surprised myself. I didn't expect that. Next door's little kid, bless him. He has some conditions, he has some difficulties. God love him. But I can hear him through the wall, so if you can also hear him, please be kind, because there's not a lot I can do. Yeah, thank you so much everybody that's joined me over this live stream, and also thank you to anybody that may watch it at a later date as well. It was definitely needed. It was something that my nervous system and my soul was crying out for. A little bit of me time, a little bit downtime. And yeah, I appreciate you guys coming along for the experience. Tell me actually, because we were talking recently about snow and ice and wintry weather. Who likes it? Who likes when the wintry weather comes in? Because actually, I love all of the seasons for, individually for what they are, and I always kind of look forward to the change in the season. And as it goes, I do love snowy weather, especially like as it starts snowing. I'm like a big kid and I'm like, oh my god, it's snowing, oh my god. But if I have to go out in the ice, I get very, very nervous because I'm very clumsy and I will go over. It's not a maybe, it's a when. Like, it's definitely gonna happen. That's a lot of green. I thought it was going to be more yellow. So yeah, I love the wintry weather when it comes in, but I am somewhat scared of the ice, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Just going in and adding little fine details to these tarpaulin berry leaves. Very happy with how this is all coming out. Hello, new people who've just popped in. I keep going to call this my channel, and I am my channel, I am on my channel, but this is a live stream for my channel. Well, hello, new people joining us in the live stream. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please consider dropping a thumbs up and liking my live stream. This is my very first live stream. I was very nervous before I started, and I've been live streaming now for 3 hours Yeah, it's been very therapeutic. I don't know about you, but I definitely feel the benefits. How have I managed to like natter away for 3 hours? My goodness. I would not be surprised at all if I have actually managed to put you to sleep by now. Like, not for relaxation reasons as well, like just putting you to sleep. Thank you so much for sticking with me. We are getting there. We're getting there together. Do you know what though? I can't remember which was my first holly berry, like holly leaf. Which one looks sort of more opaque? Oh no. I should have put like a little mark on it, I suppose, but it's okay. It's okay. I am so forgetful. As long as the leaves look done, you know, and look like they're not lacking in anything, then I'll be happy. It doesn't matter really. But I will give you a much closer look at them shortly. What's everybody's plans for tonight anyway? My plan is to finish up on here, so I'll maybe get some colour on the berries so it looks at least semi-finished, and then I may have to come back at like a later date when it's all dry so that I can add the glitter frosting to the berries, because everything's taking a while to dry down and I don't actually want glitter over everything. I would just like it on the berries so they look frosted. So, but I could come back possibly tomorrow if people are interested in me coming back to sort of finish these. I could come back tomorrow, all being well that this is dried down enough. And tonight I need to feed my partner. So that will be the plan once I log off from here. If I can inspire myself as to what to make. Because right now I'm drawing a blank. Last night's tea was so nice as well. Like, I'm a one hit wonder. I feel like you've had your nice tea for the week. You should just be happy. A joke. I will think of something nutritional for my partner. have a feeling that the rain's going to start up again. So relaxing. Do you know what? I feel like this might be our last leaf. The others look pretty good. It's just that little bit was bugging me. What do you guys think? It's just, excuse me, it's just trial and error really. I don't have like a, technical kind of expert knowledge on how to be painting wooden reeds. I go for what's pleasing to the eye and what I think looks good, really. And hopefully other people will agree with me. Hopefully. Right, let me sit back and take another look at this. Let me lift it up for a second. Yeah. I'm actually really happy with that. Let me bring it in for a closer look. What are you guys saying? Yay or nay? What do you think? Hopefully it's a resounding yay. So, let us get some red on those berries. I have sort of come to realise over the years that red is definitely one of my favourite colours. It used to kind of change with the seasons, I think. And my nieces, when they used to colour me drawings and pictures and things when they were growing up, they would ask, what's your favourite colour? And quite often it was, orange and purple, kind of Halloweeny colours, I guess, but I have almost jet black hair, and a lot of the clothes that I wear are actually red. I've come to realise it's taken me until very recently, but I do love red. Gosh, these berries are fiddly. The paint them carefully and not actually get any red on the green. I suppose we can always go back in, can't we? Like if I do get any red on the green, I can always touch it up when it's all dry. I told you guys I am a perfectionist. I have OCD. Like everything to just be done right first time. Yeah, I am. I was just taking a leaning back in my chair kind of thing, just taking a seat back. Sometimes I like to just sit back and kind of view things from a different angle, like just, you know, step back from the situation. Literally and figuratively speaking, sometimes that's just what you need to do. It's very satisfying, although if I wasn't on a live stream, I think I would be getting much closer to these berries just to get like right up in there to get the small detail. Hello everybody that's joining me on the live stream. Welcome if you're new here. If you're a subscriber, welcome, thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, you're very, very welcome. Please feel welcome to go and check out my channel. I'm still a very new channel and I don't have all of the professional equipment yet, so please bear with me. But you are very, very welcome to join us. I hope you enjoy. Please consider giving me a little thumbs up and a like on this live stream. It is my first time. As it stands at the moment, I've been live streaming for 3.5 hours. So I'm trying my very best. I'm really liking the subtle pop of colour from the red berries. It's really helped bring it all together. Yeah, I'm feeling suitably relaxed now. I literally just felt the inhale and exhale. The relaxation entering my body and the stress leaving my body. I'm interested to ask, actually, leave your comments below. So, arts and crafts and painting and creating things, that's definitely one of my ways of switching off, disconnecting, grounding myself, relaxing myself. Apart from ASMR, what are some of your personal ways of switching off, disconnecting, grounding yourself, de-stressing. I would love to hear about it. My partner loves watching videos about hiking and, oh my goodness, safe, yes. Anyway, my partner loves watching videos about hiking and camping and collecting watches. And none of them are really my kind of thing, but obviously we all need our own interests, our own special subjects that we enjoy. So while I'm painting these berries at the moment, I can see that the berries are not perfect right now. They will definitely need a second and possibly even a third coat. The closer you get to like the detail of the rest of the wreath, like I really need my face here, right next to the wreath, so that, you know, I'm not missing any of these details. Not that I have bad eyesight, but I like to really sort of get up in there and get all up in the holly berries business. So I'll probably do that off camera. I don't want to look strange. But yeah, by all means, please tell me your interests and your methods for switching off and truly relaxing. What do you enjoy doing? Do you like a comfy warm pair of slippers and a book? Do you like listening to podcasts? Do you like a movie with snacks? Do you go for a walk? Maybe even you go to the gym. Some people really like switch off and disconnect when they're working out. Tell me what works for you. What do you guys think of the wreath so far? Like, marks out of 10. Please be kind. I'm opening myself up to all sorts of criticism here. No, do you know what? I can't even appreciate feedback. I'm not perfect. I know there was probably things that I could have done to make this better or just work easier. For some reason, like I don't always pick the easiest or most effective ways of doing things. Sometimes my brain just kind of doesn't compute it. But we can't all be the same. see everyone being an individual, and that's okay. I've got a few errands that I need to do tomorrow, work related, but I could check back in with this tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, and see if I could do another shorter live stream to carry on with the details. I think what I'm going to do is finish the last couple of berries. So I'm working on this one, and then I have 2 more sets of berries. And then I will probably call it a night, because by then the live stream will probably be at around 4 hours, and I'm not sure who's going to sit and watch a 4-hour replay, but I've had lots of fun doing this live stream for you guys and with you guys. And if anyone does come on at a later date and decide to watch this, and you weren't part of the live stream and you get this far, thank you. Sincerely, thank you, because you know, all of us ASMR artists, we make this content because we want to and because we enjoy it, but also we make it for you guys to be able to view and enjoy, and you know, to know that someone has come to one of your videos at a later date and sat and watched a marathon of 4 hours of painting, you know, and hopefully enjoyed it. That's a lot. That would mean something. And I really do sincerely hope that anyone that has visited the live stream today, and anyone that may visit the replay at a later date, does enjoy and just relax. And I hope that I'm able to, if only for a very short time, just help you forget any worries in the world that you might have, any stresses going on. We all have them, you know, and we're not any of us perfect, but we are all deserving of downtime and self-love and decompression. You are so deserving of self-love. You are loved and appreciated and valued, and I never want you to forget that. The world wouldn't be what it is without you. You're important, and there will never be another you in the world. Just you remember that. Okay, well, there's a coat, a rough coat at the very least, but there is a coat of red on every set of berries on this wreath. Don't be worrying about the paint that I haven't used yet in this palette. I'm going to wrap the palette up in some plastic wrap, saran wrap, cling film, whatever you know it as. I'm going to wrap it so that my paint does not dry overnight and I can still use it tomorrow. And we are going to try and get some stylized kind of artsy, almost like lens flares. I'm going to try and get some stylistic colour components on the wreath tomorrow, but we need to let the current colours dry down first before we can add anything more to it, because it would just get too muddy otherwise. So this is what we're looking at and working with, and this is what we are leaving the wreath on for this evening. There's still lots on the berries where I've missed, but it's at the closest points to the holly leaves. So I don't want to, while the holly isn't completely dry yet, I don't want to get too close to the green and risk muddying it up and mixing the colours. So I just wanted to get a rough coat of everything on there. I will wrap up my palette so that the paint is usable tomorrow. And then I'll try my very best to come back tomorrow for another live stream and carry on with the painting process and hopefully get some of our lovely iridescent glitter. Hopefully we'll be able to put a layer of that on tomorrow as well. So you guys, at almost 4 hours of a live stream for my very first time, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining me. Anyone that came into the live stream over the course of the almost 4 hours, and anyone that may come and watch the live stream at a later date, thank you. You're all so very appreciated. Thank you very much for helping me to relax and decompress as well. I hope you have a wonderful night, whatever you get up to. Thank you guys. Bye for now. Now just somebody help me work out how I'm supposed to